What's up everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're joined by a good friend of mine, Jane.
Hi guys.
And I invited her on because today we're going to talk about two of my favorite cities in Europe. Stockholm, you guys know, has a very, very special place in my heart. But my other favorite European city, not a lot of people know about, is actually Barcelona, where Jane has lived for a long time.
Exactly, like for 8 years or something like that.
Yeah. Now, I've only been to Barcelona twice. The first time I went to Barcelona, I was doing all the touristy stuff. This was with my ex-girlfriend Lynn, and it was a great experience. We went to the La Sagrada Familia, the beach, all these kinds of things. And it was really fun. But then I went this last summer for work. And we have people that work for my company in the office down there in Barcelona, and they were showing me all the local spots, the good restaurants. And then Jane was living there in that summer, and she was showing me all these cool local spots. And doing things when you have the locals showing you around,
Yeah, it's better.
you get such a different experience. And that was like, after that trip, I was like, wow, this city is amazing, and it's right up there with Stockholm. I can't say that I like one more than the other, but I love the weather down there.
Yeah.
It was an amazing trip. So I wanted to talk a little bit in this video for you guys and compare these two cities, especially when it comes to the social life aspects, because that's what we enjoyed when we were down there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's totally different. I mean, if I compare Barcelona and Stockholm, I've been living for 6 months here already, and it's like black and white. It's just so different.
Yeah.
Because in Barcelona it's easier to get in, even there it's like a long line everywhere, but you get in at the end. Of course you have to go well dressed and stuff like that, but you get in. And here it's like if you are slightly drunk you cannot get in, and you have to be super well dressed. And sometimes I just don't go out, and it's closed at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
A lot. Some of them close at 5, but there's some of them, a lot of them that close at like 2 or 3.
In Barcelona, it's like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning, and you just go and get your breakfast. That's it.
I remember when we went to this club in Barcelona.
Shoko.
Remember? Yeah, Shoko, on the beach. It was one of these beach clubs. And there was such a long line outside the door. There was like 100, 200 people in this line, and we're both going like, what the heck? Do we have to wait in this line?
Exactly.
And in Stockholm, the lines don't really get that long, but you have to like pay maybe 20 euros or 200 crowns to go into a lot of the like Stureplan, like fancy clubs in Stockholm. So you go to the front and you ask the guy, okay, is this the line? Like, do we have to wait in this line? And he's like, yeah, that's the line, unfortunately. But there's also this line over here if you want to pay to go in.
Exactly, yeah.
And we were like, wait a sec. How much does it cost to skip this whole line? He's like, what, 10 euros?
Yeah.
And you get a free drink too.
Exactly.
I was like, wait, what? It's like half the cost of the Stockholm clubs. And just if you get a drink in the clubs in Stockholm, it's way more than 10 euros.
I think it differs a bit because Barcelona is a huge city. So if you go to like upper side of Barcelona, like quite fancy one, of course you have to do a line and stuff, and it's a bit more expensive. And if you go to the beach, it's less expensive, I would say, because it's more crowded, like more touristic and stuff. So
what would you say as a girl, because pretty much guys all over the world, like in America for example, guys have to pay to get in the clubs and wait in line. Same in Sweden. But if you're a attractive girl in America, you can go into pretty much like any club. You don't have to pay. You just walk right to the front and they let you in. And here in Sweden, that's not the case at all. Like, girls have to wait in line and pay just like the guys do, which is interesting. What do you think it's like in Barcelona?
I mean, in Barcelona, everyone has to pay, but sometimes the girls get like half price or like 2 drinks included and stuff like that, or sometimes even for free. So it's a bit annoying. Like, okay, I would say it's annoying. To me it's annoying. I don't like these kind of things. I mean,
so Barcelona's maybe in the middle of like America and Sweden, because America's like the girls can always kind of go in for free, whereas in Stockholm it's like not like that at all. And then in Barcelona it's like they do some free things and maybe like help a little bit, but not like as common as America.
Yeah, but I still like Stockholm. I mean, it's really nice. It's really nice. Just Barcelona is just bigger city, obviously, and you can find different kind of disco. Like different style of music, and it's just totally different. So.
It's interesting because a lot of people in Sweden, like I lived in Norrköping for a year and a half before I lived in Stockholm, and there was people from smaller towns that moved to Norrköping like, oh, this is a big city, it's like 100,000 people. And then it's like I moved to Stockholm and everybody in Sweden's like, oh my God, Stockholm's such a big city. I'm like, really, if Stockholm was in America, it would like barely be in the top 20. Like it's not even that big of a city. And Barcelona you do feel like it is much bigger than Stockholm.
Honestly, it's a really big city. Like you need probably 2 weeks to walk around and see around. Like it's just insane.
Yeah.
Honestly, but yeah, it's just different. Stockholm and Barcelona, just two beautiful cities. Just
Definitely.
Different.
Very beautiful, and I love the fact that both cities have a lot of water. And one of the things about Barcelona when we were at the clubs, this is something that. Okay, there's two unique things about Stockholm and Barcelona. In Stockholm, when you go to the clubs in the summertime and you go in and it's midnight and then you come out of the clubs at 3 a.m. in the summertime, the light's already up for the next day. You're like, what? This is crazy. Like I remember like a year ago when I went to the clubs in June and it was completely dark when I went in, and because of the long summer days, like when you go out, it's so early in the morning and the sun's already up. That's kind of crazy. But in Barcelona, you have a different problem because in Sweden at nighttime, it still gets fairly cold. It's not like super hot. Barcelona, different story. It might be like 35 degrees during the day. And then you're in the club, you're hot, you're dancing, there's a bunch of Spanish people like really close together, and you're like, okay, I want to go out and get some fresh air. You go outside, it's still like 30 degrees outside, which is crazy. You're just like sweating and you can't get a break from the heat.
And it's like a lot of humidity, it's 80%, so it's just sticky, and you just you just feel overwhelmed.
Felt so gross. So we ended up going for a swim because it was the beach club right by the water. We're too hot, so we just like went. It was always on my bucket list to swim in the Mediterranean Sea. Now I can say, boom, crossed it off the list. I didn't think it would be at 2 a.m. coming out of the clubs.
After W Hotel, it was W Hotel.
Yeah, we went to the W Hotel first. Was it after that we went in the water?
After.
I think I went in the water twice actually. So it was really good.
I mean, it's a normal thing. I mean, it's reasonable, I would say. Just so nice and so warm. Like how to get rid of this warm weather, like.
And in Stockholm, you can swim in the water, but it's still like I go in and like, it just kind of like hurts. So
hurts.
I was swimming down at Hornsberry Strand like a few weeks ago, and it was such a hot day, and then you go in the water and you're just like, ooh, I want to get out. And like in the Mediterranean in July, you can like hang out in the water. It's refreshing. It's still cool, but it's not like like I feel like every pore in my body is just I can't handle swimming in Stockholm, except last year when we went on my friend's sailboat and we had a crazy hot summer. It was like 27 degrees in the water in one part, and I was like, okay, this is really nice. I can handle that. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, since we're talking about social life in these two cities, I want to talk about the food scene, because of all the cities in Europe, Barcelona, I think, is the best food experience I have had.
Oh my God.
And it makes sense, actually. The top 5 food cities in the world, Barcelona was actually on the list.
Oh yeah.
It was New York, Tokyo, then it was Lyon, France, I think.
Yeah.
And Barcelona was in that top 5 list. So I thought that was very interesting, because that's one of the things I noticed. Like all the places I got food in Barcelona were just amazing.
Yeah, it just depends where you go. If you go just down to the beach, of course, you'll get like a really good paella, like seafood, just so insane. And cheap as well. It depends where you go, it's really cheap. But you just can find all type of food, like just really, really diverse.
I gotta say, I was very, very blown away by the food in Barcelona.
Yeah, you were actually living really center, like really like in the heart of Barcelona, like where locals live. So it makes sense.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's one thing that I highly recommend when you guys visit a place. Of course, there's the touristy things that you have to do, but try to get a local perspective. Like if you're meeting a guide or finding somebody on Airbnb that can show you around, or watching YouTube videos with insider tips, and that's kind of what I want to help people do that come to visit Stockholm, give you guys some actual insider tips in this city to show you what's cool. And that's one thing that I'm going to start doing more of on my Instagram, highlighting some of the here's where you should eat, here's some cool things that you can do. So if you're not following me on Instagram or Jane on Instagram, go ahead and give us some love and follow us down there. But I think we're going to wrap this video up with that, just a little taste of the social lives in the two cities.
Exactly.
And so with that, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more of Jane, let us know down in the comment section, because we have a lot of crazy stories of this Barcelona trip. But this could be like an hour-long video. So if you want to hear more about that, tell us, and we can fill you guys in.
Like the video.
That's right. All right, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.